So I was having this conversation with a friend not too long ago, and we were talking about love. And it kind of struck me by surprise actually when he kind of, was talking to me. He was saying, a lot of people have this wrong perception of love. When you're in a relationship with somebody, usually it's like it's an attachment kind of thing. Usually people don't even want to be in a relationship actually with the person that they're with. They see all of these imperfections, they see all of these flaws, they see the reasons why they don't want to be with them, but simply don't depart from them because they're attached to them. And my friend said, a relationship is about appreciation, not about attachment. Because when you come attached to somebody, it's like you're not really appreciating the things that they're doing for you. You're not really appreciating them as a human being or what it is that they have to bring to the table.
Describe the first physical thing you ever thought was beautiful.
I don't think that beauty is something that is meant to be understood in a physical way. I don't think that beauty is something that you're supposed to see sometimes. Sometimes I think it's just something that you're supposed to feel. My parents used to always, I was never allowed to leave my block that I lived on because my parents really had like a close eye on me. I remember always seeing these guys across the street and we were like friends kind of, but they would always like come across the street to hang out with me. And then they would be like, oh, well, we're gonna go hang out with somebody else. And I'd be like, oh God, like don't leave me. And then I remember it was the first day, I was probably about like 12 or 13 years old and my parents were not home. And I would take the bike and I went with them and I just rode like as far as I can imagine. And I think it probably was like the second block passing, I was just like, this feels good, to be riding with these kids and watching them doing their tricks on their pegs. And here I am. And the cool thing about these kids was that, like I said earlier, that I always was like this, I'm not feminine, like I'm not a female, but I'm also not a masculine, dominant, aggressive person. And they knew that and they didn't care. They did not care up until this day. They just knew me as a person that I was. And just to see the people and the interactions, around me and just the way how they are and how confident they are as young kids, just riding around, don't know where they're gonna go, probably gonna steal something from the store, but it was just a very confident thing. I think confidence is very, very beautiful to me, confidence in anything.
What was the first physical thing?
In a physical way, the first time I ever saw anything beautiful, honestly, was myself. I think that was the first time I saw anything beyond to look at yourself in the mirror and to say to yourself, like, wow, like you are the spitting image of the perfect design that someone made you the way they made you for a reason. That to me is completely beautiful. That to me is when I think I saw something beautiful for the first time, and that was within myself.
The kids you were riding with, they didn't know you as Shaun.
My mom, when I was born, she actually was on her way to the hospital and they said that you're not due right now. You're just feeling some kicking and stuff like that. It's not that severe. And they sent her back home, but her water broke in the bed. And she said that, we have to go to the hospital. And my father at this time had a black Nissan car and they were on the Major Deegan in the Bronx. And my mom was just like, he's coming out, I have to deliver him now. So he put his hazards on, still driving to the hospital. And as my mom is being driven to the hospital, her legs are up on the dashboard and she's pushing me out, like in the car. So my nickname has always been Nissan. It's not on my birth certificate, but it has been Nissan. So everybody from my area, my hood, knows me as the name Nissan, which I kind of should have went by my whole entire life because it's actually kind of a cooler name.
Do you think you need to move? Do you think that being born into this world in movement, does that inform who you are?
I do feel like that all the time. I always feel like, I think everybody feels like that though. Like I feel like everybody feels like doesn't matter how much you try, how hard you work, you always feel like you need to do something. If you don't, then maybe you need to sit your ass down. If I could ever say that there's any type of drug that I can take that can make things better, it's music. I was raised on music. I remember when I used to be like 16 and I used to listen to Michelle Declacello, and she had this one album called Comfort Woman, and I used to just dance for hours, just no one watching at all, dark room, dance for hours, whether it's crying or whatever it is. And this was my antidote. This was my cure to try to solve any problems. I don't know why. Just like, even sometimes I find myself like, like when I moved to LA and when it's like really, really late at night or when it's just on vacant streets, I find myself with my headphones on and I'm just like dancing and dancing. And I find myself actually crying.
You come back to movement again, huh?
yeah, I guess I find myself moving. I find myself moving all the damn time. I think movement is what allows me to feel comfortable. And I also sometimes don't feel comfortable being alone. I don't know why is that, but I feel comfortable with being around people. But it's something that I'm forcing myself to get comfortable with is being alone, is, appreciating myself, appreciating, like, what if I just wanted to just have a glass of wine and sit on top of a roof by myself and listen to music and just reflect? I need to know how to appreciate that. Attachment, no. Appreciation, yes. And this is something that I need to learn how to do, is just to simply appreciate my own self. How am I trying to appreciate you when I can't even appreciate my damn self? This interview was more careless. I just wanted to vent. I just wanted to be heard. Whether it wasn't me being heard completely and fully, I just wanted to be heard. I just wanted someone to hear what I have to say and not what somebody wants me to say. And that's why I'm just talking. That's why this is here and while I'm doing what I'm doing.